guys, Upper, and this is Friday Rising. This is Rising Friday, and guys, how can we actually learn from our failures and make it our greatest weapon to become a leader? And you know, I got that asked a lot this week. Some of the people had this deep that they fall down, they start to beat themselves up, they feel like they are blamed on whatever happened in their life. And they ask, how can I actually rise from this? How can I start to pivot here? So how can we actually start to pivot, especially when we fall down? Especially when things don't go right as we want them to go. Because a lot of times we set goals and we try to get to that goal and bam, it doesn't work and we feel like failure, we feel crappy, we feel shitty, that we feel frustrated and angry, damn it, I didn't reach that. We start to feel disappointed from ourselves and say, hey, but I can do more than this. And we haven't done that. So how can we learn from this? How can we actually start to rise up and pivot in those exact moments? And I had this amazing example that happened that I just saw, and I want to share that with you guys. So I don't know if you know, guys, but I love to watch anime. That's animation. Anime is actually a Japanese animation, and basically why do I love them so much? Because in every anime, even if it looks sometimes childish, there's a lot of psychology that goes in deep in between everything, and that's why I love those little hidden golden nuggets that happens in animes. So I'm watching this anime and it's about a gods against humanity at the end of the days. And that fight will determine if humanity will keep surviving and thriving or they will be demolished by the gods. And so spoilers alert, in the third combat, after 2 defeats that humanity already suffered, there comes a samurai from ancient time, from the Edo period time, which called Sasaki Kajiro. And that's based on a true story. That's based on a true person that exist in the Edo period. That's around the 1651, something like that, at the year of 1651. And in those moments, in the Edo period time, that's where that samurai existed. So when he existed at that period of time, he was called the greatest, ready for it? The greatest loser. You heard that right. He was called the greatest loser. And now you think about why the hell this character, this samurai, called the greatest loser, and he entering at that anime to actually, hey Veronica, good to see you here. So he enter at that moment to actually fight a god and save humanity, right? And he is still called the greatest loser, and we wonder why the hell he's there. Why the hell he's the one that actually going to against the gods. And at the pivotal moment, he been asked like, why he is the one that been chosen. He been chosen by the one God because he's the only one that kept practicing into perfection. What he did in Edo period time, in the history, and I'm sorry guys, that's a little bit history lesson, but we can learn so much from history. So at that period of time, when he was called the greatest loser samurai that ever lived, He actually also called the Devil Samurai because he was searching, he was on a quest to find the best samurais to fight, the people that are above him, that can defeat him like that. And that's why he called the greatest loser, because he lost every single fight. He lost at every single fight. But he was so much with gratitude every time he lost, because now he got some new moves. Now he learned how to move better, how to breathe better, how to whiff the sword better, how to wield the sword better, how to sharpen the sword better, that next time he can hit the opponent. And he all the time kept searching for the people that was above him in order to lose and to learn even more, to actually reach higher levels, to actually move and pivot and not stay the greatest loser, but in history is still called the greatest loser. What happened in that anime, he was the only one that actually defeated a god. He defeated a god while everybody else didn't. Because of all his experience, all that he learned, all those lose, he turned into his greatest weapon. Now, how can we take that into our life and make our failures, our slips, our downfalls as our greatest weapon and become leaders from that point? So what I do that helps tremendously to actually increase productivity, start to achieve more goals and move forward and actually pivoting from those failures, and even, it will sound odd, but even getting curious and so excited about failing. I'm excited about failing because that's lessons that can keep me to move forward. So how can you actually start to move forward with that? What I do is every single day, I developed a habit that every single day, at the end of the day, I'm open up my journal and then I ask myself, okay, what have I learned today? What kind of failure did I have today? Where did I fail today? What didn't work today? And then I write it down. Now at first, yeah, it doesn't feel so great, but then I asked the critical question, the second question, that without it, it's just a failure. But with that second question, that's where things start to change. And that is, what is the small action, the small thing, the small movement that I can do start tomorrow morning in order to learn from that mistake, from that failure, from what didn't went well? What is small thing that I can do tomorrow in order to move forward? And right away something comes up. Right away you have an answer for yourself. What is that thing that you can do tomorrow? And think about it. If you change one small thing every single day, at the end of the year you will have 365 failures, if you will, but also 365 pivotal movements that you did in order to grow. So that creates a massive growth at the end of the year. Does that make sense, guys? Does that make sense? I would love to know if that makes sense to you. Let me know if it does make sense. So ask yourself, what is that little thing that I felt today, and how can I actually shift tomorrow? What is the small action? What is the small things that I can do in actually to move forward tomorrow? That way you sharpen your sword every single day. You sharpen your weapon, your leadership weapon, in order to become that leader, the best version of yourself, in order to achieve more, to do more, to pivot more, and to move the needle in order to reach to your goals, in order to actually to rise up. So, what is one thing that you can do and commit to do tomorrow or today in order to change, in order to pivot from something that maybe you failed? What is that one thing that you can do tomorrow? Comment below. Comment in the chat below. I would love to know. I would love to hear about it. And with that, you also create commitment for yourself to reach it and to make it happen. You increase the chances by 80% to reach and learn from that mistake and actually grow. So tap in the chat below. What is that one action that you're going to do today or tomorrow morning if it's evening? What is that one thing that you're going to do? Do it right now. Don't wait up. Let's make that change right now. So guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for being here and investing the time with me today. I'm grateful for you guys, and I will see you next time. Have an amazing and productive weekend. See you on the next Friday. Have a great one. Wait 1 second before I go. Veronica says, every night, write down. Awesome. So that's exactly the action. So that's what you commit to do. I love to hear that. Let's take that and rise up from it. That way, you sharpen your tool for the leadership and you become the best version of yourself. You're pivoting. And instead of falling down completely, feeling lost, feeling frustrated from everything, from all the shit that happened, we learn from it and we grow from it. So let's keep rising up and have an amazing and productive weekend. I will see you next time. Have a great one!